We made it to the second to last episode of WandaVision.
No way!
And this one, just like the last one, gave us a lot of answers and a few questions sprinkled around here and there. But there's one question I really need answered. Is Agatha Harkness the main villain, or is there someone behind her? Because I'm pretty sure she's not the main villain. I'm pretty sure we're going to be surprised by the answer who it is though.
You didn't see that coming?
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Arjun and I love talking about movies, TV, and all kinds of geeky content a lot. If you do too, be sure to subscribe to my channel and comment down below what you thought of this week's episode of WandaVision. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Or were you somewhere there in the middle? I'm pretty sure you guys didn't hate it because most people that reviewed this episode didn't really hate it, so yeah. So without any further ado, let's get into my general thoughts. So one of the things that makes this show so different and unique is the fact that every single episode is like quite a bit different. When you think about it, like the first few episodes were like full-on sitcoms, and then we had episode 4, it just gave us context and exposition, told us everything that's going on. And then we had episodes 5, 6, and 7, which kind of functioned similarly because they had like the sitcom world and the real world. They were kind of balancing out between both of those. But then a few of them had like plot twist in between. A few of them we saw coming, a few of them we didn't see coming. So I thought that was really cool. But this episode is completely different from all of them. This one, instead of moving the plot forward or giving exposition, it's more of a character-based thing. It does give exposition, but it's about what happened with Wanda, what happened with her trauma and all that. It goes deeper into her backstory and basically functions as an origin story for Wanda Maximoff as well. I thought that was so cool because we did not get to see what actually happened to Wanda, and actually getting to see that was pretty great. This is also a very dark episode when you think about it. It's because a lot of the other episodes, because they're function as sitcoms, they're like a lot more lighthearted. But this one, it's not a sitcom at all. Like all of it just functions as this very dark story of Wanda, how she became who she is in this series right now, and it just functions so well. And I loved the fact that they decided to go this route with this episode because it's dark and it works very well with the tone that they set up, even though it's completely different in tone. There's some great acting by everyone here. I thought Kathryn Hahn gave a great performance as Agatha Harkness. I almost said Agnes, by the way. And Elizabeth Olsen also gives a really good performance as Wanda. I thought especially that scene where she's talking to Vision. I'm not going to elaborate on it because this is no spoilers section. So I thought that that one scene where they were talking, I thought that was a really good scene. And the acting there was done very well. Even throughout the rest of the episode, I felt like Elizabeth Olsen gave a really, really good performance. If I have any negatives on this episode, I mostly don't. The only negative I could say I have is that this one didn't move the story forward. But other than that, it was a really, really good episode. Now let's get into my spoiler review of this episode. So if you haven't seen it yet,
I want you to leave.
So basically this episode starts off with the scene where we have Agatha Harkness. So basically this takes place in the past, I believe. So we have Agatha Harkness. She's being taken by a few other witches, and then she's basically tied up, and then they're trying to kill her because she learned magic that she wasn't supposed to. And then apparently one of the witches is her mom. So basically they try to kill her, and then she does something. She does some sort of magic trick herself, and then she kills them. So I thought that was very dark. That scene itself, just the way it visually looked, it was dark. And the scene itself, like how Agatha Harkness killed them, that was a very dark scene. And now we go back to where we left off in the last episode, into the basement. And then we have Wanda. She's trying to find the kids. She tries to use her magic, but then it doesn't work because Agatha apparently has these runes that stop you from using your magic. So I thought that was interesting because we've never seen anything like that done in the MCU. And so basically, Agatha has Wanda tied up. We learned that Agatha, she was just trying to get Wanda to reveal her powers and reveal her true inner identity and all that. So that's what she was trying to do. So she used Pietro to manipulate her into doing it, but it didn't work. So she was trying to do that all along, but it didn't work. I did not really like that Pietro just ended up being a puppet of Agatha Harkness because they obviously cast Evan Peters, who plays Quicksilver in the X-Men universe. So I would expect it to be a bigger thing. I'd expect it to be like some sort of multiverse thing because Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is coming next year and WandaVision is supposed to lead right into that movie. I wish they kind of made Pietro like an actual alternate version of Pietro, but they didn't do that. Maybe they will do that in the final episode. I'm not sure. Maybe they will. I hope they do because I would really be happy to see that happen. But I was kind of disappointed that he just ended up being a puppet of Agatha. So then basically Agatha says this great line. She says, you were crippled with your own self-doubt that you believed it. And by it, she was talking about Pietro. So I thought that was a really good line because, you know, she had self-doubt all along, which is why she believed that Pietro was real. And that's what kind of led up to that event of Agatha capturing Wanda. So basically, Agatha kind of says that Wanda had powers since she was born, not just because of the Infinity Stone. She kind of suggests that. And I was like, okay. So then Agatha Harkness, she takes Wanda through her memories. So basically we go into Wanda's childhood and we see Wanda's parents and Pietro as a kid. So I was expecting Wanda's father to be Michael Fassbender's Magneto. That was another huge disappointment for me because in the comics, Magneto is Scarlet Witch's father. So I was hoping that they would pull that off in this series as well, but they didn't do that, unfortunately, which sucks. Maybe they might do it in the last episode. This show is unpredictable, so who knows? So basically, there's like, at that time, when she was a child, it was basically a war zone in Sokovia where she lives. Basically, there's like bombs everywhere, where there's people killing each other, and so that kind of why Wanda, she used to escape the reality using sitcoms. She used to watch sitcoms, and that's what she was doing in this episode. She was watching sitcoms, and then an explosion happens at her house, and her parents die, which sucks. We actually get to see what happened when Pietro and Wanda lost their parents because they told us what happened in Age of Ultron, but we never got to see it. So, and then we have Pietro and Wanda just waiting there, and then we have this bomb that comes there, and then it says Stark Industries on it. And then Wanda tries to do something. She tries to do something with her hand. Previously in the episode, Agatha suggests that Wanda had power since she was a child, and this kind of shows that because she tries to do something with her hand to stop the bomb. And then we go back. We have the real Wanda, like the present Wanda, and Agatha. They're basically talking to each other. And then they go to another place in memory. This is basically when Wanda was in the Hydra facility. She was being experimented on. So we have her. She goes into this room, and then they ask her to touch the scepter. This is the first time we've seen the scepter in a long time, so that's pretty cool. But so they ask her to touch the stone in the scepter, and then she doesn't have to. The stone literally just floats in the air to her. She touches it, and then something happens. The blue shell part of it explodes, and then we have just this yellow light everywhere. We get this really cool shot of Scarlet Witch's costume in the comics. Thought that was a really cool shot. And then she basically, what happens is she basically just falls down, and I'm guessing she just faints or something. I'm not 100% sure what happened there. And then they take her into the room and she's watching sitcoms again. So basically, when they're looking at the camera footage of what happened in the Hydra facility, when the people that were experimenting on her, they were looking at the security footage, and then they basically what happened there, it just cut from her getting the Infinity Stone to when she faints. So everything that happened there, it wasn't recorded on camera. This happens a lot of times in the show as well, especially in episode 3. So I thought that was kind of cool. Maybe this is where she first did that. And Agatha says, I have a theory, but I have to see more. She says something like that. And then I thought that's basically what everyone has been saying while watching WandaVision, because we've had so many theories, but we don't have evidence to 100% suggest it. So I thought that was kind of cool. Wink at the audience, and it actually makes sense in the context of what's going on. And then we fast forward to Avengers Facility. This is right after Age of Ultron when Pietro died. So basically Wanda is sad. She's depressed because Pietro died, and then she's watching a sitcom. I'm pretty sure it's Malcolm in the Middle. I'm not sure which one it is, but it probably is. She's watching that, and then Vision, she calls Vision in. He came into the room. He basically uses that thing where he floats through walls. I'm not 100% sure what it's called. So basically he does that. And then we saw this happen in Civil War. So I thought that was kind of cool, you know, playing a nod to Civil War. I thought that was cool. So he comes in, and then they sit and watch the sitcom together. So basically they have this really good conversation. I thought that was very heartwarming, and I really liked it. It was a really emotional conversation. I thought that was well done, and both the actors give a really, really good performance in this scene. Then we fast forward into memory lane again, and then Agatha and Wanda, they go to the place and time where Wanda is going into the Sword headquarters. So basically Wanda wants to have like a good send-off to Vision. That's why she goes to ask for Vision's body, and then basically she goes in, they let her in, and then she goes to Hayward's office, and Hayward shows Wanda Vision's body, and it's like completely dismantled. His head is in another place, and his arms in a separate place. It's just completely dismantled. Wanda asks him, she wants to take the body because she wants to do a proper funeral. And then Hayward suggests, like, not everyone has the power to bring their loved ones back. He says something like that, and then I was like, what? At that point in time, she did not bring anyone back to life. How did Hayward know? So I'm guessing Hayward is not just a director. I'm pretty sure that he has a bigger role, because how does he know that Wanda can bring someone back from the dead, even though at that point she didn't do anything like that? After that, he also says he's not just gonna hand over $3 billion worth of vibranium. So I thought that was kind of cool, because $3 billion worth of vibranium, that's a lot of money. And then we have Wanda. She basically breaks the glass. She goes into the room where Vision's body is, and then she tries to feel his his presence, because she did this in Infinity War before. So she tries to do that, but it doesn't work. She doesn't feel his life force or something like that. So she says she can't feel him, so she leaves. Go back to episode 5, where Hayward says that Wanda stole Vision's body. She actually didn't. This plays a huge role in the end credit scene of this episode, so keep that in mind. After that, Wanda goes to Westview, and then she goes to this place. She has like a pamphlet in her hand where, like, I think her and Vision were like looking to buy a house over there. So she goes to this one place where like the house is not built yet, and then she has an emotional breakdown. She literally falls on the ground, and like her power, just pink energy surging everywhere, and then like she creates her own house, and then after that she creates the hex, the place where the people of Westview are trapped. So basically, she creates the hex, and then she creates Vision. She creates Vision without Vision's body. I was kind of confused there. I still don't understand how is she able to recreate Vision without the Mind Stone. Is it just like an animated thing, or is it actually Vision? I was kind of confused by that. I still am. So I'm not 100% sure what's going on there, but hopefully we get some answers about that. I'm pretty sure it's probably like a copy of Vision or something. We don't know yet, so. And then we go back to present time. We are at like a live studio set, and then Agatha is clapping her hands because she learned how Wanda did everything. She learned how Wanda created the hex because that's what she was trying to learn. So after that, Wanda hears her children's scream. She goes outside, and then she sees Agatha. She has them. Agatha has their necks wrapped with some sort of magic thing, and then she's holding them. She has this super cool costume that really makes her look menacing and like an actual witch. I thought that was really cool. And then Agatha says that Wanda was supposed to be a myth, a being capable of spontaneous creation, just create anything. And she's using that to make breakfast for dinner. She says something like that. And I was like, what? What is that supposed to mean? And then she says, this is chaos magic. You're using chaos magic.
That makes you a Scarlet Witch.
And that was really cool. I thought that name reveal was very well done. And then, obviously, the episode ends. But we do have a post-credit scene again. So, in this one, we have Hayward. He says that they're basically making some sort of weapon, and then he says the weapon is ready. All they needed was some energy from the power source. And by power source, he means Wanda Maximoff. So basically, he goes inside this weird room, and then he tells the doctor or the scientist, whoever that is, to turn it on, and then he turns it on. We go to the weapon, and it is Vision's body, but it's completely white. So I searched up White Vision on the internet, and then basically White Vision is Vision who comes back to life in the comics. So after he dies, he comes back to life, and for some reason, he's completely white in color for some reason. So, what do I make of all this? I thought this episode, like I said, I thought it was a great episode. It probably is in my top 3 episodes of the entire series. I thought the acting here was really good. The emotional elements really worked. And the visual effects, I forgot to mention, the visual effects look amazing. There's some, like, especially for a TV show, the visual effects in this series are really, really good. Like I said, I did have a few flaws. I did think that it didn't move the story forward, and there were a few answers that could have been more developed. You know, they didn't have to be so simplistic, like Wanda's father is just a random person. So I feel like they should have done a few things to make that better, but overall, it was a great episode, and I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed my review, be sure to give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you want more content like this. And comment down below what you thought of this episode of WandaVision. Thank you so much for watching again. I'll see you next time. Bye.